Alright guys, welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is Ali Plays. So as promised, we're going to be doing the giveaway in this video. We'll do that in the end. We have some announcements to make. Not regarding the giveaway, regarding Raid Shadow Legends. So there have been some issues in the game. Obviously, you've seen so much maintenance. And then some people are getting banned. So if you're getting banned, Cirilla made a post in Discord. I know a lot of people, some people are not in the Discord server. So the problem with banned accounts that some of you have faced was a technical issue from their side, obviously. The only way for them to unban it, such accounts to revert your progress to the state of the night before the patch on the 12th. But there is no need to worry. Each and every case will be handled individually. We'll provide you with compensation. We will give you guys more specifics in the tickets you sent regarding this problem. So you guys should email raid.support@plarium.com if you don't have a ticket yet. So if your account is banned, make sure you guys do that. And they're going to be compensating all the players that have their accounts banned. Hopefully you guys get something good, because that is pretty terrible. Alright, so that's the first part of the news. Second part of the news is there's going to be a new fusion tomorrow for Valentines. I actually know who it is. I'll show you guys. And there's going to be a 2x event for Sacred Shards. I think I only have 2 Sacred Shards that I got from Clan Boss. So I got pretty lucky. So I'll show you guys a new fusion. So the new fusion is this guy. We'll show talk about him in game. So he's part of the Undead Horse faction. So Rotos, the Lost Groom. So he's attack-based champion, magic affinity. His basic attack attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 30% chance of granting an extra turn. So this guy actually, I was looking at his kit earlier, so I did get a sneak peek. Not from Plarium, I just got a sneak peek before I recorded this video. So he looks like he's going to be very good with a Relentless set. So he has a 30% chance of granting an extra turn. His A2 ability decreases the target's max HP by 20%, and then adds that HP to his max HP. So that is pretty strong, because he's an attack-based champion. He's going to be very, very sturdy. His damage based on attack and HP. And he can now increase his max HP by more than 60,000. But at that point, do you need more than 60,000 added on top of his base HP? His speed is pretty low, though. That's all I got to say about that. HP is okay. Does not decrease boss max HP. That's obvious. And his max HP will increase by 15,000 when this skill is used against bosses. So that is pretty good. And that's on a 2-turn cooldown. So relatively short cooldown. Faded Destruction. He attacks one enemy, will ignore 75% of the target's defense. That's very strong. Will also ignore unkillable and block damage buffs. And then he grabs an extra turn if his attack kills an enemy. Most likely this attack will kill an enemy because it ignores defense. And then if he kills an enemy with this ability, he cannot be revived. So this guy looks like he's going to be good for Ice Golem as well. Honestly, I feel like he is good anywhere in the game, except for his attacks are basic hits, but still, I feel like he's going to be doing a lot of damage. And that's going to be a 3-turn cooldown. Passive ability, he decreases damage from a single enemy hit so that incoming damage will not exceed 50% of his max HP from that hit. Can occur once per enemy attack. So again, they're making him very sturdy, and he does a lot of damage. Well, we don't know how much damage he can do, but it looks like he does a lot of damage. And then he's granted an extra turn if this damage reduction occurs. It does not work against bosses, but he decreases the damage taken from bosses by 15%, and decreases the damage taken from bosses by 30% if Siphi, the Lost Bride, is on the same team. So Siphi is also legendary from the Undead Horse faction. But yeah, like in combination with Duchess Lilith 2, she does the same thing. She decreases the damage taken from bosses by 15% to her team if they have Veil. So these stack, so that's going to be very, very powerful tandem. So if I actually get this guy, combine him with Duchess in Arena, it's going to be very powerful. And most likely a lot of people won't be able to pull Siphi, the Lost Bride. But yeah, so unfortunately, let's go back here. Let's look at the fusion. So this looks like, I think it's 3 voids, right? Or 4 voids? This guy's already in the game. So Azure is part of the fusion. He is Void Champion. So I do have this guy. Skytouch Shaman is also part of the fusion. So it's basically War Maiden dressed up in shaman's clothing. I mean, you can tell, right? So this champion actually looks really good. So if people don't go for the fusion, they can actually go for these epic champions. But you got to try to do it without spending money. So she has an AoE on her basic attack. Heals by 15% of the damage inflicted. If this champion has less than 50% HP, so she heals herself. If she has more than 50% HP, she gains 20% turn meter. So that is very good. Removes all debuffs from all allies on her A2, and then places a revive on death and block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns. And that's a 4-turn cooldown when maxed out. This ability looks very strong. Her passive ability doesn't do it for me. So she gets damage every turn. Every time she takes a turn, she loses 10% of her max HP. And then she heals all allies except herself, equal to half of the lost HP. Okay, that's okay. She heals all allies. She places a decreased speed on herself for 1 turn at the start of each turn. Also has a 50% chance placing a fear debuff on herself for 1 turn. So the good news is that she does have a block debuff, which can counter that. But the bad news is it's on a very, very long cooldown. So there will be times where you do not have that ready for her passive ability. And her aura skill increases ally HP in all battles by 25%. So if people do not go for the fusion, I think she is worth getting. So she is going to be required for the fusion. So here I was thinking it was Old Voids, but it's not. So Sepulcher Sentinel is actually a force affinity. So I guess that is good, I guess. But I don't like how they're using all new champions. So let's look at this champion. Is she good? I mean, you can fuse her, so whatever you want to go for, if you have the rares, it would be good. Let's see what she does. So she has decreased attack on her basic, so right away she's going to be good because she has decreased attack on her basic attack. It's not a double hit like Tyrell, but she does have an increased defense for her whole team and block debuffs. So that is good. She looks like she can be used in Arena as well as Clan Boss because her basic has a decreased attack. So if somebody does not have a champion that has decreased attack on basic that's reliable, they can get Sepulcher Sentinel. Untouched by Death is her passive. She has a 25% chance of completely blocking incoming damage on when this... Okay, that doesn't make no sense. She has a 25% chance of completely blocking incoming damage when this champion or their allies are attacked. Occurs once per turn. So yeah, this champion can be good in Clan Boss. You can completely ignore damage taken. And if you max this out, you have a 50% chance of completely blocking incoming damage.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god!
So that is actually crazy. I think she might be a top tier for Clan Boss from what I see right now on paper. And then she has increased ally defense in all battles by 25%, so universal aura skill. So she is pretty good. I don't want to fuse her. I want to keep her. I don't want to use her for fusion. I don't know if I'm even going to get the fusion. And we got one more for the fusion. Oh, it's not even Old Voids. My bad, guys. It's not Old Voids. So we have Fang Cleric. It looks like Spider. He's a support unit. Attacks when enemy has a 75% chance of transferring one random debuff from this champion onto the target. And that is going to be a 100% chance of doing so if you max him out, which I don't think you should. Heals an ally by 20% of this champion's max HP. Also fill this with a target's terminated by 30% if they are fully healed by the skill. Places a veil buff on the target for 1 turn if they are not fully healed by the skill. That's actually not bad. Next one, return to the ranks. Okay, so he has a revive. So he is actually better than I thought. Revives a dead ally with 30% HP, then fills a turn meter by 30%. Also places an unkillable buff on the target for 1 turn and a 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns. Actually, yeah, he's not bad actually. I just don't really like his basic attack. Oh, increase ally speed in all battles by 15%. Sorry guys, this guy is pretty good. So all the champions that are needed for the fusion look pretty good. Let me zoom it in for you guys a bit. So yeah, we got zoomed in now. So it was 2 voids, 1 force, and 1 spirit. That guy was... So those are the champions needed for the fusion. This guy looks very, very good as well. And we're going to go over the new champions released, all of them. We'll try to do it very quick, and I'll give you my initial impressions on them. So we do have Minea. She kind of looks like Venus. Basic attack, she can place a continuous heal buff on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. Not bad. Actually, that is actually very good, actually. Especially if you want to use her in CB for support. She can be a healer, especially if you have a counter team. Mending Away, she attacks one enemy, heals this champion and the ally with the lowest HP by 10,000 HP. And she has a 75% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Heals all allies by 40% of their max HP. Places the block debuffs buff for 2 turns on the champion under increased defense buffs. This is very good as well. Most of the time people have champions that have increased defense. So if a champion is fully healed by the skill, she also places a shield buff on them for 2 turns, equal to 25% of the champion's max HP. So not her max HP, but the champion that she's healing. A 4-turn cooldown. Passive ability fills the turn meter of all allies by 20% when this champion is killed, and revives this champion with 75% HP when killed if Coronar is on the same team. So he's basically the beast, she's the beauty. Coronar looks really, really good, but most odds are nobody's going to have both of the champions. No, nobody, but most players are not going to have have these champions. She has 111 base speed. That is crazy. And we also got a rare here. So he's defense-based champion, damage based on defense. He has to provoke on his A1 if the target has higher max HP than this champion, which is kind of stupid because you want your tanky champions to have high HP and high defense. So most of the time he's not going to be placing provoke. He's not going to be placing provoke on DPS champions. AoE ability that can place decreased attack. That is actually good, but it's a weak version of decreased attack. He has ally protection and continuous heal. So he places ally protection on all allies and continuous heal on himself for 2 turns. And increase ally defense in dungeons by 20%. So he is below average in my opinion. High elves have one new rare. We have Fencer, who basically looks like Hyria. Basic attack, she double hit and she can place decreased speed. I don't really like decreased speed. Pummel Strike attacks when enemy has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. This ability looks really good to me. And she can steal 20% of the target's turn meter if the stun debuff is not placed. So if you just want her there for turn meter reduction, don't even build her with any accuracy. She has an AoE that can place decreased defense for 2 turns. And that's a 3-turn cooldown, so that's not bad. Except it's a weak version of decreased defense. And increase ally attack in dungeons by 23%. So I think she is pretty average. If you need a turn meter reducer, she is good though. So good news is Sacred Order did not get any new champions. So we already went over Shaman, the new Shaman, basically War Mater as a Shaman. We got a new rare champion, Soulband Boyer. She looks hilarious, man. Look at her cheeks. She has an AoE ability, has an additional 25% chance of inflicting a critical hit. That is good actually. So you can build a little bit less crit. Attacks when enemy has an additional 25% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Will ignore 75% of the target's defense. So again, she has crit built into her kit. All her abilities are like that. So you can actually build her with 75% crit chance and you can use the stats for something else. So she attacks when enemy has an additional 25% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Also has a 75% chance of fully depleting target's turn meter. This ability is good. 4-turn cooldown when maxed out. And she's rare. So that is very good. It increases ally crit rate in all battles by 12%. It'd be cool if she had an enemy max HP ability, but you know how they do with the Boyers, right? They will probably just nerf it. Ogren Tribes didn't get any love. Same with Lizardmen, unfortunately. Skinwalker. So this is the guy that pairs with that girl that we showed, the Bannerlords, the legendary. I forgot her name, man. Come on, man. Give me a break. They're new. So this guy's an HP-based champion. He's basically the beast. His basic attack is an AoE, so already you can see that he's good. That has a 50% chance of decreasing each target's turn meter by 10%. And if Minea is on the same team, yeah, that's her name, Minea. He attacks all enemies 2 times instead of 1, and the chance of decreasing each target's turn meter increases to 100% if she's on the same team, and the damage of each hit will be decreased by 50%. What's the point of doing that, man? Whatever, it's on his basic attack. So let's go over to Beastly Bellow. He has a 75% chance, well 100% when maxed out, of placing a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. And then he can place a block debuffs and increase defense buff on himself for 2 turns. And if Minea is on the same team, he removes all debuffs from himself before placing the block debuffs and increase defense. That's actually good, man. 3-turn cooldown when maxed out. Oh man, this guy needs a lot of books. This guy needs 11 legendary books. Another AoE that can place decreased attack debuff on all enemies, and places a decreased defense buff on them if they already have decreased attack. That is actually very good as well. Passive ability is good. They don't require books. He can counterattack when hit by enemies under decreased attack, decreased defense, or decreased speed debuffs. And if Minea is on the same team, he always counterattacks. Spectacle. He places an increased defense buff on allies for 2 turns if he kills an enemy. Yeah, this guy is very good. 99 base speed, 27,000 HP, so his HP is pretty high, and all his damage based on HP. So this guy looks pretty good as well. And then they also got Fleshmonger. He's a new rare. Triple hit on his A1, that's good. He can place increased attack and increased crit rate on himself, and then he gets an extra turn. That is also pretty good, but they're the weak versions. And he has an AoE with decreased defense, the big version. So this guy is going to be very good. He's going to be a very good Fire Knight champion. Triple hit A1, as well as a AoE that can decrease defense. So for the waves, so helps you clear the waves as well. And he's attack based, so his damage should be pretty good. Orcs also got a new champion, Sandlashed Survivor. Defense based champion, damage based on defense. So she has a provoke, double hit provoke on her A1. So if she has no debuff, she places provoke. If she has debuff, she heals herself. I don't really like that situational. AoE attack decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn and increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. It's always good actually to have debuff extenders, so that is very good. And Born Survivors, or passive ability, places the ally protection buff on all allies for 2 turns. When when any ally's HP drops below 50%. And she also places block damage buff on this champion for 1 turn. 4-turn cooldown. So I feel like they had a chance to make her another counterattack champion, a team counterattack champion. So it was a missed opportunity. That would have been a 4th one if they did that. And Demon Spawn did not get any love. Ended Hordes. Again, I already went over Roto's Lost Groom. He's a fusion. Let's talk about Sify the Lost Bride. She looks very good. She can play Sleep on her A1 for 1 turn if the target's turn meter equal to or above 50%. And it cannot be resisted. And then she heals all allies by 5% of their max HP if the target's turn meter is below 50%. That's on a basic attack. But her other abilities are even better. She fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% and places block debuffs, increased defense, and increased speed buff on allies for 2 turns. That is one of the most powerful abilities I've ever seen. Increased turn meter, defense, block debuffs, and speed. That is crazy.
He's the best. I love it.
And that's on a 3-turn cooldown. She's going to be wreaking havoc. Love Beyond Death. She revives a single ally with 55% HP and full turn meter. So she has a revive as well. You guys hated Duchess Loyalty. You guys are going to hate Sify the Lost Bride even more. And she plays an increased attack buff and increased crit rate buff on the ally for 2 turns. And that's on a 4-turn cooldown. So her cooldowns are pretty good. Pretty low. Passive ability heals each ally by 15% of their max HP at the start of their turn. Dude. That's crazy. And she has a 40% chance of... She removes freeze and fear from each ally at the start of their turn. And if Rotos is on the same team, removes all debuffs from Rotos at the start of their turn if they are on the same team. So that is actually crazy. Increase ally resistance all battles by 80. She has 114 base speed. Wow. Plarium going ham with these champions, man. Yeah, she looks very powerful. And we also have Corpulent Cadaver, HP based champion. Damage based on HP. Basic attack attacks when enemy inflicts additional damage if the champion is under a shield buff. The damage equal to 30% of the value of the shield. A2 ability places a shield buff on this champion equal to 20% of their max HP for 3 turns, and he gets an extra turn. That's actually good. Attacks when enemy has an 80% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 2 turns. So he's actually pretty good. He's a little bit above average, in my opinion. So Dark Elves didn't get any new champions because they don't need it. We already went over her. Oh, this guy looks cool as well. This guy looks cool. Finally, we got a new skin. He's got a triple hit that can place decreased attack. That's right. Triple hit with decreased attack. You know what that means? He's going to be usable for people for clan boss. Attacks when enemy has a 50% chance of placing HP burn debuff for 2 turns. He's going to be placing a weaker version of HP burn because he is a rare, but that is good. And he can decrease the damage enemies inflict with AoE attacks by 5%. So this guy screams clan boss to me. Coffin Smasher. And Dwarves also got some champions. They got two more rares with stupid names. Cudgeler or Cuddler. I'm going to call this guy Cuddler. He looks like he likes to cuddle.
Bruh.
Double hit on A1 that has a 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit if the target is under decreased defense debuff. He can place a counterattack and increase attack buff on himself for 2 turns, and then he gets an extra turn. That's why you got to rework Candrafon, man. Candrafon buffs himself, but he doesn't get a turn. All these rares are doing it now. Furious defense, he has a 20% chance of placing a decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. It's a weak version, though. When attacking targets with higher defense than this champion, so most of the time it's going to happen. But the chance is really low. It has a 20% chance of decreasing the damage taken by 20% when attacked by enemies with higher attack than this champion. And the last champion we have is Hatchet Slinger. So very specific. Nice tattoos though. Dude, this guy's forearms are huge, man. His forearms are as big as biceps. Alright, so he has a double hit that has an 80% chance of ignoring 15% of the target's defense if the champion's HP. If this champion has 50% HP or higher, has a 10% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn if this champion has less than 50% HP. A2 ability places unkillable buff on this champion for 2 turns, so this guy's unkillable. And that's on a 4-turn cooldown. Passive ability, he has a 5% chance of counterattacking when hit, and he has a 25% chance of counterattacking when hit with a critical hit. And then you can increase the chances of that. Yeah. So we did get a lot of strong champions, a lot of strong rares. Epics, I would say they are pretty average. Some of them are good. So we have 233 unique commentators. So we're going to do 5 winners, and I'm going to post it on my notepad. I will zoom in for you guys so you guys are able to see better. We'll do 150% zoom. All right, let's get started. I wish you guys all luck. We will be doing more giveaways in the future. So we're going to be doing once a month now, because that's one of the perks for being a content creator. We're actually allowed to do one giveaway a month. I think the bigger content creators are able to do 2 giveaways a month, but they actually got to ask for it. So that's why we got this giveaway. So let's go, everybody. So one of the winners is KPAC21C. I like your honest and down-to-earth personality. Thank you, KPAC. And he's got his player ID, so good job for following the instructions. So we got his ID right here. And we're going to pick another winner. Uncle Billy, congratulations, you're our second winner. I like the fact that you guys are good for the beginning and mid-level player also, showing that you don't need a bunch of Legos to play the game. And next winner is All Eyes on Me. So we got K-Pack. Oh man, this is turning into a Tupac thing, man. So I found your videos randomly. They're all well made, straight to the point, and I learned a bunch of stuff to get better at the game. Thanks. Thank you for participating, K-Pack. Congratulations, man. Sorry, not K-Pack. All Eyes on Me. So third winner here. Next winner is Ersla. I like your sense of humor. Hopefully the patch comes out tomorrow. It feels like this game's coming to an end. Congratulations, Ursula. Hopefully the game's not coming to an end, man. I want them to do better. Make the game better for everybody else. For everybody. And the last winner. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing these once a month, guys. Okay, this is a very long name, so I'm not even going to pronounce it. I'm just going to say Mr. Angezocht. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I like the most of your champion build guides video. All right, so congratulations to the winners, our 5 winners. Next month we'll probably be doing 5 more winners. The higher our sub count is, the more giveaways we're able to do, and the bigger amount of gems. So it's going to be 540 gems given to you guys. Maybe you guys might get them before the video is even up. We'll message the diamond right now and give you guys, give him your ID so that he can send you your gems. So hopefully you either get them today or tomorrow. And yeah, for future giveaways, make sure you guys subscribe. And if you guys found this video helpful or entertaining in any way, make sure you guys drop a like. If you guys are new to the channel and you like what you see, then consider subscribing. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.